Hello, this is Up Trail 71 and we are back at the Manistee River Trail to do the 20-mile loop. And here we'll be coming up to our first junction. And to the left is the North Country Trail. That's the route that we took last year, but this year we'll be taking the Manistee River Trail first. And today's temperature is in the mid-50s, and tonight it's supposed to get around freezing, and it is very windy today. And we have our first road crossing. Continue on trail, and we'll need to follow the white blazes on the trees. This is about a 6-hour drive for us, and we left later this morning, so it's around 4 o'clock right now, and we're going to hike about 4 or 5 miles in and set up camp. This is a neat looking ridge. And there's Coates Highway. We'll be going down to that and crossing the bridge. And right here we'll be crossing the Manistee River over this bridge. And next time that we cross it, we'll be over the suspension bridge about 10 miles up. And now we'll be going into the woods after following the road for a short distance. It looks like the Manistee River Trail will be using blue diamonds. Now there's some really nice campsites just behind me. It's only about a mile and a half into this trail. We want to go at least 4.5, 5 miles before we start looking for one. Now we'll be coming up to our first stream crossing. Now we're about 2.25, 2.5 miles into this hike. Now we're coming up to this marshy area. Oh, this is really nice. It's a good time of the year, early May. There's very few bugs out. We packed a little heavier for this trip. We were planning on possibly doing 3 days, but if the weather gets too cold, they're predicting possibly the upper 20s for Sunday night, we may just only camp for 1 night. But we did come prepared. A lot of our gear that we took with us is our winter setup, so it's a couple, 2-3 extra pounds So our pack weights are right around 20-22 pounds total weight. Another thing that I've been noticing, we walked by about 7 campsites and they've all been taken so far. When you get a beautiful day like this, clear skies, everybody wants to come camping. Here's an excellent spot for a campsite and it's available, but the water source is going to be a long distance away because we're up on this ridge. And we're going to hike past Cedar Creek because that'll be about 4 1/8 miles in. And somewhere past that we'll start looking for a campsite. What lies beneath the surface? Well, that's kind of neat. Oh, look at this cool part of the trail. Get a few good hills that you get to climb on this trail. Well, maybe a 200-foot elevation gain. Well, it looks like we took a wrong turn. Followed this little trail down to the river. And it just ended at the river. Now we gotta go back up. Somehow we missed a turn off. Oh, I hear a stream down there. I think that'll be Cedar Creek. And this will be Cedar Creek. So we're about 4 1/8 mile in. And then of course we got another hill climb after going down this valley. Okay, we just came down from that trail. Parking lot over there. Another one right here. Okay, we're at the Seagull Creek Road parking lot. And now comes this amazing bridge that they built. And this is a good sign that spring is here. A few more campsites taken in this area. Oh, check this out. The sun is starting to set. See some of the larger hills in the background. Oh, another good climb. See, there's a lot of camps and hammocks around this area. We're a good 5.5 miles in. And my guess is we'll have a little ways to go before we'll find an open one again. Wow. We're coming up to some more amazing views. Look at that little island there. And now we're about 6.5 miles in. And we've probably got another 30 to 45 minutes before it gets dark. So we're gonna have to look for a campsite soon. Wow, look at those sand cliffs right along the river. It's really neat. And we'll continue on. Sooner or later we'll just throw up our hammocks anywhere. We're hoping to find a fire ring somewhere. Oh, look at the erosion did with these trees. Falling into the river. Here we come up some running water. Runs into the Manistee River. As you can see, it's getting very dark now. At least in the woods. Not so bad in the opening by the river. And this will be the largest waterfall. So maybe a 6 or 7 foot drop right there. A little bridge crossing. You can see it runs right into the Manistee River. Oh, we now got the hammock set up. It was getting dark when we set it up. It took about 25 minutes to set up both of them. Oh, we started a nice little fire. It's getting a little cool out. Probably about upper 30s right now. A little bit of wind. Okay, now we're going to boil some water for our suppers. And I'm boiling the water using Esbit cubes. Beef stroganoff with noodles. And I'm using a new Tokes titanium spork folding style. We are now inside the hammocks and we will see you in the morning. Good morning. Looks like the temperature got to about 29 degrees last night. And now we'll get the bear bag down. Now this morning I'm going to use the Fancy Feast alcohol stove. For breakfast, I'll be trying the scrambled eggs with bacon from Mountain House. Oh, we picked a beautiful spot for our campsite last night. We're high up on this ridge overlooking the river. And now we're going to start breaking down our hammocks and get on the trail early. Our hammocks are now broken down. We are now leaving our campsite en route to the suspension bridge, which should be about maybe 2 miles away. I'll take a look at this cedar tree. That's kind of neat the way it's growing. Must have blew over at one time, but it kept living and it just grew like that. Another beautiful spot with the high banks. Here we have a small bridge crossing. You'll find a few bridges like this. Looks like a water source. Look at the blossoms coming out. Now on the Manistee River Trail side, you get about 8 miles of views with the river. And a lot of water sources. And soon we'll be crossing the bridge. On the North Country Trail side, there's only 2 or 3 good water sources. You can go about 5 or 6 miles with no water. So something to remember. We have now made it to the Little Mac suspension bridge. Okay, let's take a quick look at this map. Here we are, the suspension bridge on the north end of the loop. Now this bridge is over 200 feet long, and the Manistee River is the 3rd longest river in Michigan. You can actually feel a sway in this bridge. Now the North Country Trail won't be starting until about maybe a mile from here. We'll still be running along the river. Now right here, the trail will come out to this road. You'll have a short, maybe 1/8 of a mile walk down the road, and then you'll hit the trail again. Not quickly, we're back on the trail. It's nice to get right back in the woods. Even though it's just a short distance, you gotta hike on a gravel road. And here's a sign. When siren sounds, leave river at once. Water rises rapidly. Consumers Power Company. Yeah, there's a dam just a little ways up the river from here. I suppose if there was some kind of a emergency with the dam failing, it would flood extremely fast around here. Now we'll have to find a place to cross over here. Shouldn't be too difficult, just a small stream. Now we're going to cross right here. It's a little muddy in here, so we just have to kind of walk around it best we can. It's not that bad because there's some gravel here. Well, this will be one of the last of the very few water sources for the next 8 or 9 miles on this trail. There, we just completed the Manistee River Trail. And the North Country Trail will be going on. As you can see, it goes in both directions. There, Eddington Creek was the last good water source on this trail. So now it's going to be about 6 or 7 miles before you get to the next one. So you see, it's a very popular place for everybody to filter their water. Okay, I'm not sure if you'll see it here, but that's where the dam is. You can see some of the water. It was near the suspension bridge. You can tell that we gained a decent amount of elevation so far. Well, you get some really nice views when you don't have leaves on the trees. It's one advantage about going early in the year. We're stopping for a quick break on a North Country Trail side. We're going to boil some water using the Fancy Feast stove. And we're going to cook up some rice with some teriyaki, butter. That should make a good lunch. There, after a quick lunch, we are now back on the trail. You will find a few nice camping areas. You can see this one's been well used. And I don't see a fire ring. You're really not supposed to have one, but some people will make them anyway. And you can see the view that they get. It's gorgeous right here. Beautiful area. Okay, better get back on the trail. Still got a few more miles to go. As you can see, there's a lot of hill climbing on a North Country Trail side. Well, at least for now we get to go downhill for a little ways. But usually when you go downhill, it means you get another nice climb coming up. So I'm sure we'll be looking forward to that. We will be crossing the Sheep Ranch Road now. And the next road we'll see will be the parking lot. It's starting to get warm. Time to take some layers of clothing off. It was definitely cool out before though. And the wind made it very cold. It has been all uphill since that last road that we crossed. But you can see the views that we're getting once again. You can see how you'll get a lot of these switchbacks. See how the trail goes up there. So it's more of a gradual climb. It'll go steady for long ways, but it's not real difficult. A few garter snakes on this trail. Now we're going through an area that's thick with pine trees. A lot of young growth pine. Just gives you a little different change in scenery. Red Hill Lookout. This is the area that we originally thought about setting up our hammocks for our first night. We were to set it up down in the lower area right here. And up here is the lookout. And this will be at the top of Red Hill. You see a little fire pit right there. Yeah, some really nice views. And like I said earlier, you can see a lot better when the leaves are not on yet. And now we're once again back on the trail. This is a real cool area. And check out this valley. It's a long ways up. There we're coming up another good climb. So you get some really good views from here. And it's getting windy out. Now it looks like we'll be turning to left here. So we'll be coming off the North Country Trail. This will be the Manistee River Trail, Upper River Trailhead, and that is where we're parked at. And now we're coming up to that first junction near the trailhead that we started at yesterday, and we'll be going in this direction. And you can see the cars parked right over there. So we're almost done with this 2-day, 1-night, we made it, backpacking trip around the Manistee River Trail. 20-mile loop, or actually, from what I calculated, it's 20.2 miles. Oh, I also had one more small issue for this trip. I somehow forgot something at home. Do you remember what that was?
Your shoes.
Yes, my
Good
shoes.
job.
So I ended up wearing my cheap $20 shoes rather than my regular backpacking shoes. It worked out because the ground is mostly sand, not much rock, so my feet were fine. We are now back at the trailhead, and once again, thanks for watching Up Trail 71.